Welcome. I am Constance Malloy.
And I'm Audra Kerr-Brown, and together we are the Flashtronauts.
Woohoo! And here we are, in the Muticus has landed us in Iowa City, Iowa, at Prairie Lights Bookshop. Woohoo! We love it.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun looking around. I don't know if they will close up or they'll kick us out or what.
I know.
We're having a good time.
Hey, and all of you, Audra and I met for the first time today. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for joining us.
Yes. Today, as we said, we've landed our trusty Muticus in Iowa City, Iowa, and we're going to
talk about all things Flash related to Iowa.
To Iowa. Ignore the coffee grinder in the back.
Yeah, so I think we're going to talk about Iowa writing programs, Iowa Lit Mag, Iowa Flash Writers.
And we have a lot of them, actually. So even for Audra and I, who are co-editors at New Flash Fiction Review, our managing editor, Al Kratz, is also from Iowa. Misty Urban, who is our CNF editor, is from Iowa.
I still live in Iowa when I'm not, in the space with the Flashtronauts.
Yes, and I'm from Iowa, which is why we are here now.
As they say, we're Iowa strong.
That's right.
But there are also some famous flashers from Iowa. One being, Grant Faulkner. He is from Iowa. He lives in California now, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he is the co-founder of 100 Word Story. I don't know if he does a lot of flash fiction writing himself. Grant, do you do that?
Let us know.
I know you do novels. But, he reads, obviously, micro for his magazine.
Yes.
Co-founded by Lynn Mundell. And also, he is the founder of NaNoWriMo.
I did. See, I learn something new every day.
Yes, he also has a podcast. He's got a lot going on. He's a busy guy. But he's an Iowan.
Yeah.
And, once you're Iowan, you're just Iowan forever.
You are. The cornfields are with you forever.
And another famous flash writer, she now lives in Colorado, but Kathy Fish is from Iowa.
Yes.
And you know what? I think it informs her writing.
It does.
Quite a bit. As far as I know, she grew up either in Waterloo or close by Waterloo in a house full of boys. She has many brothers.
Yeah.
I think she was the only girl.
Wow.
So if I write about this, she grew up and graduated high school here and then moved on to other things. I won't say bigger and better because I don't think you can get bigger and better.
That's it.
Than Iowa. There you go. And Iowa City is an international lit hub.
Yeah, their summer writers workshop program is going on right now.
The Iowa Writers Workshop. There's a lot of community here for writers. Of course, the bookstores. They have walks on the sidewalk. There's like sidewalks, plaques devoted to famous writers.
Yes.
And one very famous writer, Flannery O'Connor.
Yes.
She came here.
Yes.
And she went to the writers' workshop. I need to find out what house she lived in. I want to just.
There is a picture in her biography of the dorm. And now I can't remember which one.
I think it was Courier.
I think you're right. Yes, Courier.
How about that? Just a couple blocks away.
And you went to the University of Iowa.
I did.
And I went to Iowa State.
We're rivals.
We are.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, how about that?
Oh.
Yeah.
But they're both Iowa schools. So.
That's right.
Got to cheer for them both.
And
Iowa State has a writing program too.
Yes, they do. And I actually took creative writing there. They did not have the writing program yet, but Jane Smiley was there and was my professor when I was at Iowa State University. And I believe, if I remember correctly, it was her first short story in the Atlantic was published while I was, at least it was her first or second. She came in very excited to class one day because her story had been published in the Atlantic.
So you were there like at her beginning.
I was.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. But there are a couple other writing programs coming up in Iowa, and there might be more. And there might be more flash writers. I'm sure there's more flash writers than what we mentioned. So if you're a flash writer from Iowa, leave us a comment.
Yeah.
We'd like to know. Or if you went to Iowa, if you have an Iowa connection,
yes,
you can mention that as well.
Yeah.
But I know that Co-College in Cedar Rapids, which is nearby.
Yes.
They have an undergraduate writing program. And they have a pretty stellar teaching faculty. So check out Coe College if you're interested in an undergrad program, because I was really impressed with who they have on staff
Oh,
there.
wow.
Cornell College in Mount Vernon has a low residency creative
Oh,
writing program.
nice.
It is nice, and they're in their second year, I believe, and it's
Oh,
really
and
tempting.
Mount Vernon is beautiful.
It is
actually.
gorgeous.
It
It
is.
is. It's not too far from Iowa City either. And Grinnell College has an undergraduate, I believe it's just an undergraduate, correct me if I'm wrong, program there, and they're closely tied to the University of Iowa. I've noticed that
Sure.
they come back and forth a lot, and
Okay.
they inform each other, and they have like a writer's lab. They have a lot of big names coming through there as well. I think they kind of roll through Iowa City, then hit Grinnell.
Got it.
So that's an up and coming program that people seem to be really excited about. And of course, Iowa State, we mentioned their MFA in creative writing and environment.
Environment. That's and they started that like about I feel like 10 years ago now or so. But yes, I think that's very cool.
Ooh. And another flash writer I just thought of, Chloe Clark.
Oh, I'm not familiar with.
I think she's on Twitter as Pints and Cupcakes.
Oh, I have seen. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
People know her maybe by
Yeah.
her Twitter handle. I
Yeah.
believe, now correct me if I'm wrong, that she graduated from there not too long ago.
Oh.
So she's one of their famous alum.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I believe she still lives in the state. And I hope I'm not giving anybody's like information away, but you can find it on the internet. If I can find it on the internet where people are,
Yes.
I don't think I'm giving anything away.
I don't think so.
Private.
No.
Okay, we're not giving away addresses or anything. So a lot going on in Iowa. I'm sure there's a lot more. I don't know much more what's going on in the western half of the state.
Yes.
I'm more of the eastern and central,
yeah.
and Des Moines probably has some things going on.
Yeah.
So let us know. We could put that somewhere in our next episode, or click a link in there or something like that. So there was something else. Oh, Lit Mags. I want to go over Lit Mags. Again, I'm probably only scratching the surface. There's probably more than what I'm aware of. But of course, the Iowa Review is here in connected with the University of Iowa.
Yes.
That's okay. I stole your
That
line.
says C there. That's a C for Connie.
I do that all the time. If you see us like get kind of weird, it's because I read what she was supposed to.
That's okay. So then I'll read what you. Well, actually, their subs are open until September.
In September.
In September. Yes.
I think they're only open for a few months at the beginning of the school year, so you need to get in early with them.
That makes sense.
Okay, but go ahead, read mine.
Brink here is open. It opens in November. See, this is why she should read her notes, because I don't know her shorthand.
It's pretty bad. Don't you love that little scratch pad? So anyway, Brink, it's open now.
Okay.
That's what that means.
Now, that says now. It's open now.
And this is their first
that's quite
first
lovely.
one. Yeah, it's really nice. I think they're preparing to print their second one, and I think they're open for submissions for their third one. But in this one, their flash fiction feature was Tara Isabel Zambrano. So she's
who we might want to state is the judge for our new flash fiction review contest, which closed on the 15th.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she will be coming up with the winner here shortly.
Yes. And then Free State Review, which their subs are open now, which I believe they're open year round, perhaps.
Oh, you might know.
I don't know, but I feel like that might be the case. But anyway,
Probably
they are
so.
tied in with Galileo Press. And Galileo Press just recently published Blood Histories by Tara Stillians Whitehead, which is really great. And I'm just going to put a plug for my website because I have an interview with her posting on the 20th.
You want to check that out?
Yeah,
for sure.
It's quite fine.
I do have a question. Is it all poetry, or does she have a mix? Is it some micro? Is it some hybrid work?
She talks about that, I think, in the interview, or I just spoke to her about that personally now. But it's a mix of things that are in it. Yes.
I heard her read recently, and I was blown away.
Yes, and she does a very lovely reading in our interview, which is nice too.
She's one of those writers that I kind of want to hang it up after I hear her read or read her stuff. I'm like, I need to just quit. But I get over it eventually. But she has that effect.
Yes.
She does. And another one is Eastern Iowa Review. They do prose poetry and fiction. Sometime we need to talk about the difference between. Did I bring this up last time? Prose poetry and flash, because sometimes
it's very.
I can't tell.
That's what Tara talks about. That yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to enunciate because I know sometimes I drop off at the end of when I'm talking, especially if I'm really excited about something. I get like,
Yeah.
quiet. But sometimes I can't tell the
But
difference. So they're open now as well.
Oh yeah, Eastern Iowa.
And that's all that I know of. But if you know something, let us know and we'll try to get the word out
Yes.
about that.
Awesome.
I feel like Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
And he like,
Just David Letterman. Yeah.
one of them. Okay.
Okay, where are we here? So should we go on to
Oh, yes.
Kathy?
Kathy Fish.
Yes.
Okay. Kathy Fish.
Do you want?
I was just thinking about the boys.
Yes.
Living with boys. How much
Yes.
I wonder if writing was her escape. But oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I think she came into writing a little late.
Okay.
Later in
Yes.
life.
Okay.
Maybe like late 30s or 40s.
Oh. Okay.
I'm going by memory here. So Kathy, I'm sorry if
Yeah.
I'm not getting things right.
Yeah.
But I love that. I
Yeah.
love hearing that. Because I think people have lived life by the
Yes.
time they're like in their late 30s and 40s and have something more to write about.
Correct.
Or at least have some distance
Yes.
from subject matter.
Yes.
Like I know when I was writing in my 20s, there's no distance. There was no perspective.
No.
So I think that's good. But there's a lot of young writers who are just awesome. So
Yes.
just depends. And she's a self-proclaimed slow writer, which I am too. So
Yeah.
that always makes me feel good when she says it takes her a while to complete something. What I like about Kathy's prose, it's what I call kind of spare. It's very clean.
Yes.
There's no extra words. It's just like that. At least I assume that she's weighed every word
Yes.
and thought about it and taken out the extraneous and her details. I just love her images, and she drops them in just enough where they just linger in your mind.
Yeah.
I tend to load mine up like too many metaphors.
Yeah.
I know that about me.
Okay.
And I'm working on it.
Okay.
I'm trying to just use a few, but she's very good at that. And she's a wonderful person. I have met her here at Prairie Lights.
I was going to say,
actually.
you guys did a reading here, didn't you?
Back in 2018, we were both in the Best Small Fiction.
Ah, yes.
So that was great. And a wonderful lineup of people that we had that night. So that was very fun. But she's awesome. And she's such a champion of flash fiction and flash writers. So I'm dropping my voice down again. Sorry.
Okay. And I'm going to do, by way of a little bio of Kathy. Kathy Fish's short stories, flash fiction, and prose poems have recently appeared or are forthcoming in Plowshares, Washington Square Review, Waxwing Magazine, Copper Nickel, The Norton Reader, and Best Small Fictions. Her fifth collection, Wildlife, collected works from 2003 to 2018, is now in its second print run with Matter Press. She is a recipient of the Copper Nickel Editor's Prize and a 2020 Ragdale Foundation Fellowship. Her highly sought after fast flash workshops, begun in 2015, have resulted in numerous publications and awards for the hundreds of writers who have taken part. She publishes a free monthly newsletter, The Art of Flash Fiction, which includes craft articles and writing prompts. She is currently seeking representation for her craft book of the same name. Other stories have appeared in Electric Literature. Ooh, I don't know how to say that word.
I always pronounce it
Guernica, Denver Quarterly, Mississippi Review, UMassey Review, Indiana Review, Sport, Slice, New South, Newfound Journal, and various other journals, textbooks, and anthologies.
Yes, basically
everywhere.
Yeah. So if you've been in the Flash community for any little bit of time, you've probably come across her. But if you haven't, I hope we can introduce you to her today. So I do also want to mention real quickly, she's widely known shut up, for her piece, Collective Nouns for Humans in the Wild, that was written in response to the 2017 mass shooting in Las Vegas. And it's taught in classrooms and it's in a lot of anthologies. And that's how a lot of people, I think, come to know her, who are outside of the Flash community.
Yes.
So I first read her back, I think, in 2015. There's a wonderful flash fiction lit mag online called People Holding.
Okay.
And I believe the editor solicits writers and gives them a photo prompt. I actually have one in there. Back then you could ask to be in it, but now I think he's been such inundated with requests that he solicits.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. But I read in her story that was in there, it was called, do I have the right book? No.
Is it this book?
Is it that book?
Oh, this is Rift.
I think it's that book.
Well, look and see. Hello is in there.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
The 4 o'clock bird, which was in People Holding. And so it was the first one I read of her, and I was just blown away because it was, well, I'll let you hear it. Yeah. The 4 o'clock bird. The child knows the man with the patch over his eye is not really going to buy him a hamburger. He feels the man's heavy hands on his shoulders. The child is wearing his best red coat and cap, but he is shivering. The man coughs and says, "Smile." The child refuses. The child starts to say something to the photographer, but the photographer seems to be a friend of the man's. His mother would say they were in cahoots. It's cold, near dusk, and they're in a sooty alleyway, and now the man wants him to smile for the camera. The man had said hello to him when he was out in the garden playing. The man showed him a toy owl. The child loves birds. How did the man know? His mother had said she would be back from the store in 5 minutes. She told him to hum every song he knew, and she'd be back before he finished. She would bring him something sweet. So the boy hummed and played in the garden and came closer when the man asked him to. He so wanted to hold the toy owl, to pet its feathers. The man said he could if he was a good boy and held his hand. Now the man was grasping his shoulders and the child was shivering, and the photographer said, "It's okay. I don't need him to smile." And both of the men laughed. Not far away, the child heard the bird who was not an owl, the solitary bird who sang every afternoon at the same time, no matter what. Its song reminded him not to cry, to be brave. He would swivel his head around just like an owl, and he would bite the man's rough hand very hard. You know, when I take the glasses off. That was my introduction to Kathy Fish.
wow.
And blown away on so many levels.
Yes.
Because it's weird. It's kind of
Yeah.
weird,
Mhm.
strange,
Yeah.
but terrifying
Yes.
at the same time.
Yes.
And how she manages to level, ramp it up.
Yes.
Just give out enough details for us to know what's going on.
Yeah. Well, and the ending is
And
just
the ending.
well, and I have to admit, I had not heard that story before. So I'm reading it as you're reading it, and I was just a little bit ahead of you, and I was hitting that last line, and I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
And I love that the bite the rough hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Just like
great
the owl.
Yeah. Great detail.
What was I going to say? Something about one thing Kathy does on occasion that I've noticed is she'll mention something early up in the flash and then bring it back in at
Nice.
the end. And that's like a nice technique.
Yes.
You realize in your mind that you've heard about it.
Yes.
And then it makes much more sense and it's powerful
Yeah.
at the end.
It totally resonates.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's awesome. So anything else we need to discuss?
Let me look at my script and I'll see.
Because I don't want to read your part.
That's okay. I think we've come to the end of our journey on this episode of Flashtronauts and our trusty Muticus. I wonder if anyone out there can guess what Muticus stands for.
Oh, I'm curious.
Yes. If you have any ideas, there is an author from Iowa, or not from Iowa, but an author that attended the Iowa Writers Workshop that we mentioned earlier in the episode. But if you can remember that, it might start to head you in the direction.
If anyone's still watching.
Which is why we should wrap, right?
So thank you for joining us,
Yes.
and we want you to stay safe and keep your passion for the flashing. All right. Bye from Prairie Lights.